Welcome everybody to The Candle Enthusiast. I am your host, Shane Carlson, and this is Aromatically speaking. The music has to get super dramatic every time I start to talk. This is Aromatically speaking, my secondary channel here on YouTube, the future home of all of my candle content. If you watch me, because I evaluate candles and we sit down and do these lives and we do a little bit of sensory evaluation. I break down the scents and we create a little bit of that smell-o-vision. If that's the content you enjoy, make sure you subscribe to this channel because like I said, this is where all of my new and future candle content will be. The main channel, The Candle Enthusiast, will be for all of my travel and adventure and vlog videos. And there's a whole slew of brand new videos on the main channel coming very soon. Very excited. And speaking about being excited, I was on Instagram probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, browsing at all of the candles, candle posts, searching for interesting finds, and something interesting I did find. There's a company that I was not aware of, I certainly am now, called Eerie Candle Company that's producing a Killer Klowns From Outer Space inspired collection. Yes. The cult classic 1988 film, Killer Klowns From Outer Space, a large part of my childhood. Yes, my childhood. I had it on VHS, taped off of television, and I stole it out of my father's VHS collection, and I watched it just about every Saturday morning. Look, I use cult classic for a reason. It is campy as they come, but it is super nostalgic and incredibly funny. It's sort of inspired by the 1960s, The Blob, starring Steve McQueen. Those of you who have seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But those of you who haven't, make sure you stick around because you're going to want to see these candles because they deal with something that pretty much all of us love, and that's going to be circus, carnival, bizarre aromas, fragrances, you know, whether that be sweet treats and candies and popcorn and funnel cakes. All of this fun stuff is going to be included in this collection. It's important to say, though, I have not smelled any of these candles. I have the box. Like I said, the folks from Eerie Candle Company very generously sent me the entire collection for me to do a live unboxing to share my reaction with you folks. But then at a later date, I will be doing a filmed and edited version of these candles once I get a little bit more acquainted with the candles. They are sold out right now, but hold on. They're sold out, but you're going to want to hang in and watch a little bit. I'll kind of give you some tips of how you can get your hands on these candles because they will be back in stock, but they're just highly sought after. I checked the one morning, they put them back on the website, and within probably less than an hour, they were gone. So you really have to plan ahead to make sure you get your hands on these candles, and I'm sure you will. And all of this will also lead to a fun giveaway that we'll be having probably later this month, if not early June. So let's jump right into this. Let's not waste any more time. If you were a product of the 80s, or if you were a child in the 80s, or if you were a child at heart in the 80s and you're a cinema fan, you're going to want to hang in tight. Oh man, this box is heavy. Look at this. Very important when I do these unboxings is that I want to not only share the experience of opening them up, but I want to show you how they're packaged because this gives you a great idea of how your candles will arrive in the mail if you choose to purchase from any of these companies that I discuss. Take a little sip. let's clear some space and let's do this. Killer Klowns from Outer Space, directed by Charles Kyoto, or better known as, I think it was Charles, maybe it was Stephen, I don't know. The Kyoto brothers, they're responsible for the Killer Klowns from Outer Space, also Critters, if you've ever seen that film. These films were essentially on every video rental store from the day they were released to the day that video rental stores disappeared. So let us make an incision like this. And we are going live, so make sure if you're able, to join that chat section. This way we can chat in real time. And while I'm opening these up and kind of busy doing it, you can chat with other candle enthusiasts in the chat room. And I do want to take this time to welcome everybody. Just want to make sure that we're all good to go. Okay, we are. Whew. All right. It's always fun dealing with live streams, you know? Got to be prepared for the worst. All right, I don't want anything to fall out. But, like I said, I want to show you how these are packaged. Let's do that. Oh yeah. Black bubble wrap. All of this will be recycled. We have Eerie Candle Company. All of Eerie Candle Company's info will be shared in the description below. Make sure you follow them on all their social media platforms. This way you can get up-to-date info when certain items are restocked. This is great. Look at that. Candle safety. I always give bonus points to companies that supply this stuff. Every company's candle's different. They're different, and every candle is different, and they require instructions. This way, I thought I was just smelling a candle. But the first thing I smelled when I ripped this box open was bubblegum. It probably will be a candle, but we do see we got 2 blow pops, which will be enjoyed at a later time. And I thought I saw something. All right, okay. Wow, look at that. So, again, this doesn't look like I just received some stuff from eBay. I mean, this looks like, a subscription box. When you get one of those subscription boxes and it's all about the presentation. We have the green tissue paper. Okay. All right, I'm going to have to put this down, though. And there is a lot of candles here, so I'm suddenly reminding myself that I have to evaluate all of these candles right now. We're not going to do super in-depth evaluations, but I will smell each candle and describe to you folks what I'm getting, what I'm smelling, and more importantly, not just like what kind of ingredients that I'm smelling, but emotionally, right? Where do these candles take me emotionally? Because when you're dealing with nostalgia, when you're dealing with things from childhood, so many candles, it's not just about what makes up the candle. It's about where these candles take. So I want to make sure I got everything out of the box so I can get this out of the way. Bingo, bango. All right. We seem to be in good shape. Are we ready? Let's do this. Candle number 1. In no particular order because I have no idea. Oh, man. Okay, so being completely honest, what truly caught my attention, and this may not come to no surprise, what truly caught my attention was the artwork. I mean, of course, right? Because when we're online, we're on Instagram, we can't smell candles. And, sometimes there's so many candles, we're not going to go read all of the fragrance notes. So more so than ever with internet sales, labels are incredibly important. And I can't say enough. When it comes to the labeling, the graphic design, the website, and all of their other products, this is obviously not the only collection of candles Eerie Candle makes. Everything has such an aesthetically beautiful look. The colors, the textures. There's no question that there is some graphic design background in this team making these candles. So first candle, these are big. They look big in the pictures, and they are big. I'm not sure right off the bat. There might be some information of how big these are, but these, I'm going to take a guess, maybe 10 ounces. Maybe they're more. 10-ounce tumblers, aluminum lids, stickers, really nice, nicely placed stickers. I'm trying to catch a little bit of light on there to show you there's no like peeling or bubbling. Aluminum lid, rubber gasket. We have an almost opaque white frosted tumbler, white wax, single wick. As far as the makeup, let's see if our candle safety tells us. I'm skimming through this real quick. Okay, if I don't find out by the end of the show, I will list the wax blends, the ounce sizes. Okay, so here we go. Killer Klowns from Outer Space. We dealt with, in this film, many different lovable and quite creepy characters. And all of these candles are going to be inspired by each character. This character is called Spiky. And, one of the big clowns in the film. And this candle is called Spiky's Fluffy Pink Nightmare. Fluffy's Pink Nightmare. Let's see if we can get a little view here. All right, let's do this. Ooh. Okay. Wow. Okay, so, yeah, I mean, Halloween City right here. Halloween City, this might take people to the candy shop after school. This might take people to softball or Little League. And the reason is because this, oh my God, I mean, you hear me use a descriptor of bubble gum all the time, like Hubba Bubba, the tape gum. We got the Hubba Bubba in the wax paper. We have Bazooka Joe. But this is incredibly authentic. So let's start with just the Bazooka gum. But what are the things happening in the Bazooka Joe that makes it so specific? I mean, I'm going to kind of go in reverse order here. I can smell that powdery confection, the powdery substance that they put on that bubble gum to keep it from, sticking to your fingers, right? When, you take out the Bazooka Joe gum and you're chewing on it and it's really hard and it's stale, right? You kind of work your way through that crunchy exterior. And then inside, it's super sweet. It's that unmistakable, undeniable pink bubblegum flavor. So powdery, but also really sweet underneath. You know how Bazooka Joe, it has a little bit of that like medicinal quality that really adds to the authenticity of this, because I think a lot of bubblegum tends to veer towards more of like a bubblicious, fruity side, where this really is like an old penny candy from an old-timey store. And, when I said Little League, it sparked a couple things. It sparked Big League Chew. But Big League Chew, yeah, they had the original flavor, the traditional bubblegum flavor. But something else about baseball, this was reminding me of. Can you guess where I'm going here? The Topps trading cards, baseball cards. It could be any sport. It could even be movies. I had Dick Tracy cards. I had the Tim Burton original Batman cards. And inside you have, again, that stale but such a delectable sweet treat and surprise every time you open that little wax paper to reveal those trading cards inside. And no matter how long you handled those trading cards, those cards always forever smelled like that bubble gum. And I guess I'll throw one more in there. I'm just naming a lot of bubblegum things, but these are coming to mind. The coin-op bubblegum machines. And the reason why I'm saying that is because those have the hard candy shell. And although there's no cinnamon in here, let me be clear, there is this red, somewhat spicy candy nuance, if you really look for it. Maybe even cinnamon is not the right way to go, and maybe even spicy is not the right way to go. But think about a red gumball, which makes sense if you think about the film. So Spiky's fluffy pink nightmare, we could see on the label, he's holding what seems to be some cotton candy, which, that would be an interesting thing too. Imagine if there was such a thing as like cotton candy. I'm sure there is bubblegum flavored cotton candy, because there is something. Okay, take take some of that bubble gum, whether it's in the coin-op, whether it's Bazooka Joe, throw it in the microwave for 18 seconds, precisely 18 seconds before it burns, and it's just malted gum and sugar at this point. It has this warmth to it, almost like you left a big thing of bubble gum in your hot car. But he's holding that cotton candy, and there's some gnarly fingers poking out of that cone. And again, I'm going to be saying this a lot. Just look at the texture of the labels. Very clean, right? I'm a little bit OCD, as some of you know, but the labels are placed perfectly, evenly, a lot of symmetry. So that one, certainly nostalgic. Oh, and check it out. I missed it. It says right there. Scented soy candle. Which I could tell by looking, but I'll see if it is a soy blend at some point. Candle number 2. What are some of the candies and things that you would find in circuses when you were a child? What were some of your favorite treats? The things that wouldn't complete the day or the evening at the circus. What treat did you need to have? Candle number 2. Just just want to, we're never going to get a sharp focus. But let's do our best. We got Rudy's Party Poppin' Frenzy. Now, Rudy, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the clowns. He's seen throughout the film, but one of the first times you see him, he's running through the spaceship out in the forest, and he has this popcorn bazooka gun that shoots popcorn, and the popcorn comes to life, and it gets into your clothes, and it kind of, has a Ridley Scott Aliens effect. It creates more clowns. Just making sure the stream is okay. Please let me know if the stream starts to lag or if anything else gets sticky. No pun intended. All right. So all of these are going to be the same size, same tumblers, I think. Party Poppin' Frenzy. Oh. This is one of the biggest oddball requested candles, or concepts, I should say. When I discuss with people, like, what scented candles would you like to see? There's always a list. People say, oh, I want one that smells like an old library. I want one that smells like, Sherlock Holmes lounge. I want one that smells like a train station and Harry Potter. But another one that frequently comes up is movie theater buttered popcorn. And there's not many of them out there. And some of the bigger companies that used to produce them, they are retired. And man, but I can't just say popcorn and leave it at that, because how many different popcorns can we think of? We can think of the bagged popcorn, I can't think of any companies' names, but the ones that have like the powdered flavoring. We have the movie theater butter popcorn that comes in the buckets. We have microwavable popcorn. We have the popcorn that comes in the big aluminum tins around the holidays. And I'm sure there's a bunch more that I'm forgetting. And what was the popular brand of popcorn when I was a kid? It came in a yellow bag. Come on, guys, help me out. Like a yellow bag popcorn. It was buttered flavored. 90s-esque. It's probably still around, but this definitely has that powdery, artificial butter flavoring aroma. However, imagine having that like bag of really salty, really savory. It's probably like that popcorn is probably loaded with like MSG. It's just so addicting. But imagine you had that and you dumped like clarified butter on top, like a big bowl of that stuff, and you put real butter on there because the butter is out of control. And I don't know if this is just my association with powdered flavoring on popcorn, but I think maybe there actually is like this cheddar thing going on too. And just to keep it, from me putting that in your head too much, just think of like a white cheddar, something that's a little bit more mild that would complement the savory butter. But you can't deny that there's, strip away the butter, strip away the flavorings, there's a popcorn aroma, right? That's kind of something that we forget about. Movie theater buttered popcorn is so just doused with salt and oils and butters that most of the time we can't even actually taste the corn itself. And this has that starchy richness, that dried corn. Again, so much so that I bet you if you smell this long enough, now that I keep going back to this kind of does smell like corn on the cob. If you ever had like a block party where you're grilling up corn and you take that corn and you just dunk it in the cauldron of melted butter. Did you ever go to any of those parties? No? Maybe? I did. It does have a sweet corn aroma. Not sweet like cream corn, but sweet, fresh corn during harvest season. So a pretty significant and powerful, intense popcorn aroma. What do you do with a candle like this? I mean, just if you love popcorn, you love popcorn. But I have, I'm sure a lot of you know what candle I'm talking about, a butter popcorn candle that I burn on occasion. It's so limited now, but I burn it when it's movie night. And a great way to take this an extra step, check this out. So you watch a movie, you burn a popcorn candle that's loaded with butter, and you go out, for the adults, you go out and you buy a really rich, buttery Chardonnay. You know how people describe Chardonnay as buttery? Well, it's good reason. It's a process called a malolactic fermentation. It is a conversion process that happens inside the barrel that actually makes the wine taste like butter cream. It gives it a creaminess. It gives it a little bit of a vanilla. But certain areas in the world, certain regions make extra buttery Chardonnay. So if I can give you a recommendation, Rombauer Chardonnay out of Napa Valley. It's actually quite affordable these days. Something like that Chardonnay, slightly chilled, throw it in the freezer for like 10, 15 minutes or in the refrigerator for a half hour, pull it out, pull yourself a glass. Now you're not only smelling the buttered popcorn and you're watching a movie, but you're drinking a delicious, really rich, viscous, refreshing wine that has this vanilla butter nuance to it. And it's, of course, incredibly fruity as well. But to me, that's like a 3-for-1 right there. So Rudy's Party a Poppin' Frenzy by Eerie Candle Company. I like that. I like it. I do. And I'm not even a big buttered popcorn person. How are we doing here? Checking in with you guys. Someone let me know if we're lagging. Could somebody do that for me? Candle number 3. I'm like genuinely excited. I'm always enthusiastic, but this is like as close as I get to Christmas morning. I'm not gonna lie. I was looking for my Killer Klowns from Outer Space t-shirt. I couldn't find it, so I went with something else from my childhood. Candle number 3 is going to be Slim's. This is the guy. This is the clown that gives out that laugh and he uses his shoulders. I'm not going to mimic his laugh. I can't hit that register. But he laughs with his whole body. And if anybody frightened me when I was a child in the film, it was this guy. I believe maybe he was the one on the motorcycle. Yeah. Clowns ride motorcycles in this film. And it is called, I can't read backwards, Giant Gushing Gummies. We got some alliteration, folks. Giant Gushing Gummies. I do want to point out some of these things here, too. He's holding these balloons, right? And in the film, this is how they keep victims hostage. They keep them in the balloons. They're stuck inside, and you gotta burst the balloon to save your friends. Look at this. I'm sorry. Why am I apologizing? I can take my time. There's no rush. Here we go. Giant Gushing Gummies. Candy. Whoa, candy. Oh, so much candy. Gummy worms. I'm just going to throw them out. Sweet tarts. Smarties. There's something a little floral in there, too. That's interesting. That definitely gives this, like, outside of, like, this being, like, novelty and nostalgia and fun, if you burn this candle, like, and your guest came over and you didn't show them the label, I don't even think they'd be like, are you burning a circus or Killer Klowns themed candle? They might not even think anything strange. Because that's a really pretty smell. What I mean by floral, very gentle, kind of just like, a lily is way off in the distance. And you get a little bit of that floral essence and spice wafting in the air. But predominantly, of course, we have the powdered sweet and sour candies. Malic acid, citric acid, city, with fruits of, I'm going to say strange fruits, but I'm not saying these are going to be the fragrance notes, but I'm getting like a rhubarb, red currant, red fruit sort of thing, raspberry. I don't know why I was so excited about that. Raspberry, cherry, maybe even like a maraschino cherry, but initially I meant more of like a sour red cherry. But there is that holly berry, winterberry, cranberry, pomegranate thing that we see around the holidays. This does not remind me of the holidays at all, but you know how cranberries and pomegranate and rhubarb, red currant, all have that slightly astringent note on the nose, which is really what I was talking about, that spiciness of that floral. Very interesting. Yeah, but I mean, if you want to keep this super simple, take Smarties. Smarties are pretty sour, but sweet tarts and Spree candy are obviously way more tart. So take a collection of those candies and like a mortar and pestle, right? And just grind those suckers up in that bowl, and that smell of all of that sugary malic acid, citric acid goodness with red fruit, even like red fruit punch aroma, definitely reminds me of things that we like, penny candy, gummy worms. I think, this is called Giant Gushing Gummies. So I think that's perfectly accurate. But it does remind me of the, gummier, pectin-rich candies that have the outer coating of something really sour. I'm all for stove-top popcorn with salt. Very basic, says Amanda. Is it Jolly Time? Jiffy Pop. That you use the foil. Amanda, have you ever used that? When it comes to popcorn, I just do, I use like, the hot air popcorn popper. Just, to keep it a little extra healthy. And a little bit of, get one of those misto things. You ever see those? You put like olive oil in it and you pump it and you just spray a little bit of olive oil, some kosher salt, and check this out, a little bit of cracked black pepper. Just a little bit. Makes a great treat. And it's a great snack to pair with other white wines, like a dry Riesling. I really like this one. I think, there's no sense of me overdoing it and giving more and more descriptors. I think I really touched on my first impressions and what I was smelling. So, gummy worms. I know a lot of people are addicted to those kinds of candies. And if you're one of those and you want to slow down the consumption of your gummy worm quota for the week, maybe giant gushing gummies. Alliteration. It's always hard to do. Giant gushing gummies is the way to go. All right. Now this guy is got to be one of the coolest characters in the film. Let's change the camera angle here. We have Chubby. Okay, so Chubby is the guy who works in the cocoon room. I'm making up, names. I don't know the film that well, but in the film they have this like huge room where they put their victims in these cotton candy cocoons, and the people sit inside there, and I'm guessing eventually they're going to turn into clowns or food, because what Chubby does, Chubby goes in with a wacky straw, like one of those crazy, outrageous straws, and he sticks it into this cocoon of cotton candy with the person inside, and he starts to drink the blood and the ooey gooey decaying whatever that's going inside that cotton candy, and it's dribbling down his mouth, and he's got this face like he's savoring every ounce of it. It's pretty gross. However, he looks like he's enjoying it. So imagine for a second if we were a killer clown, and if we were this guy Chubby, how would a candle smell that would provoke us to make those same, ooh, God, that's a good fit, that good taste? What would make us make that face? What would smell that good and taste that good? This one is called Very Berry Bloodshake. Chubby's Very Berry Bloodshake. And he's not drinking a human in this. He's got a milkshake glass. Okay, here we go. Oh. Big, bright, mixed berry fruit. There's a little bit of Jamba Juice happening here. And before Jamba Juice, back in the day, Baskin Robbins. I remember going to Baskin Robbins circa 1996, 1997, and they would do smoothies. They would take sorbet and vanilla ice cream. They had a whole selection of different flavors, and then they would add in their own recipe of whether it be strawberries and blackberries and blueberries. But there's this one that my brother and I would always get, and we'd get like this huge thing of it. It's essentially Jamba Juice, but made by Baskin Robbins. I'm sure they're using much more ice cream. And that's what this is reminding me of, because it's not so much an ice cream as it is this sorbet. There's a very tart lime. Well, I could say lime juice. Icy, like a snow cone, iciness, right? This is not bombarded with vanilla. I do believe there is some vanilla in here, but this is not bombarded with a ton of creaminess. So it's much more, I think it rides that line of being like a slushy meets a smoothie without so much ice cream and more of that tart, bright, sugary sorbet. So raspberry again. Raspberry, you know, blueberry, even like blue plum. And the classic, infamous, fictitious fruit that we all know and love, the blue raspberry, even though there is a blue raspberry. But a little bit of that slush puppy action. Yeah, so I would say, again, so to keep it simple, mixed berries with an addition of citrus juice. I'm going to say lime because you get a little bit of this zestiness. And on the foundation, there is a vanilla soft creaminess, but this is not soft serve ice cream. This is not French vanilla. This is not even a really rich, milky beverage. This is more icy, tart, and fruity with addition of a little bit of cream in the background. Just trying to pull out some more of those fruits for you. There's some tropical notes in here too, and you know, I'm just gonna go and say pineapple, and I'm gonna leave it alone because I don't want to list off like 20 tropical fruits, even though pineapple is not a berry. There is a Dole pineapple thing happening. Yeah, I mean, if I had a beverage in my hand that smelled and tasted as yummy and refreshing as this candle does, I would be using that straw. So, Chubby's Very Berry Bloodshake. Oh, yes. Again, this is another one that doesn't necessarily need to be a spooky candle. With the context, with the label, we can take it in that fun carnival direction. But if you were just burning this on any other normal day and you turn the label like that, no one would, I don't believe anyone would question that this would be a novelty candle because it smells really, really good. If you're, you know, if you like fruit-driven tart candles like I do, you know, that might be a candle for you. I don't even know what number on. We did 4 and we have 4 more. Oh, God. So candle number 5, my favorite character. Oh, yeah. Shorty. Oh, yes. I'll knock your block off. He doesn't say that, but there's an infamous scene in the film where this little sweet short clown who makes the sounds of like a little baby boy. He very violently punches somebody's like a head off, like a motorcyclist. And in his hands here, he's got a pie, which he does throw a bunch of pies, and whatever is inside these pies in the movie, it like disintegrates the people, I think, in some cases. And there's an eyeball inside of that pie. Let's see, get another camera angle here. And I will be posting, well, you could go over to Eerie Candle's Instagram page for higher resolution pictures, or their website to check out the higher resolution photos. But I eventually will be posting these as I'm burning them, much higher resolution photos. And I will be doing edited videos in 4K, mind you, on these folks. So this one's called Banana Scream Pie. All right, this is good because I actually just burned a little while ago now, but I just finished up a banana cream pie candle. Oh, I'm making my food noises. I'm sorry. The size, I know that it can get bad. I'm very vocal when I eat food. Yeah, so it's taking, this is like a perfect collection for me because people rather make fun of me that I'm always using candy and soda, breakfast cereal as descriptions when I describe candles. Or I think other people kind of embrace it and they understand what I'm doing. You know, it's a great way, you know, things from our childhood, those childhood descriptors are a great way to communicate aroma. But I bring this up because these are very much candified. Even though this is a banana cream pie themed candle, that banana is coming across in a couple ways, but first and foremost, Runts banana flavored candies. You know, it's that sour, artificial banana that we know and love in candy. And I know a lot of people don't like, you know, banana candy, like banana Laffy Taffy, but you know, I'm not a part of that club. I love banana Laffy Taffy, at least the aroma of it, but definitely Runts banana here. Because, I mean, let's face it, bananas aren't sour. Bananas are not this kind. I mean, they're sweet, but they don't have this candy crusted, hard candy shell sweetness to them. And this certainly does. And what's great about Runts candy is that when you make your way through the candy, this, you know, it's sweet on the outside and it gets a little bit more sour on the inside, but the hard candy shell does, as it dissolves, it has that creamy sweetness before it gets too sour. And that's, you know, that's definitely here. I'm trying to think of a good way to describe this. Imagine if we took Runts candy, we threw them in a blender, a Vitamix, boom, 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 boom. All right, we got them all blended up. We threw in some dollops of whipped cream in there, and we made this kind of like fluffy topping for a banana cream pie. Instead of using like the meringue or the banana cream, I should say, on the banana cream pie, we use this sour banana tart infused whipped cream. Yeah, so really the major players here are the banana and look, I'm saying artificial banana. Does this smell like a banana? Of course it does, because banana candies wouldn't remind us of bananas if they didn't somewhat taste and smell like bananas. So, you know, I think the way to describe banana flavored candies is when bananas are overripe, which in my opinion is when they taste the best, when they're really that golden brown color, borderline, you know, get the black skin on there. It's when they're obviously the most sweet, the softest, the most savory, and the most oxidized. And that's the key. When bananas get dark, it's because of oxygen contact. And that's what banana, you know, banana Laffy Taffy smells like. It's that ripe banana. But also in a banana cream pie, you're going to have those highly oxidized bananas. Banana chips without salt could be something we could say here. We can even say plantains. But there's nothing savory. So there's no butter. There's no salt. This is not like Bananas Foster. Even like a crispy, crunchy crust that's seasoned with some baking spices. Or if this does have a little bit of a flambe, or, you know, you use your creme brulee torch to get the nice color and flavor the caramelization, the Maillard reaction on top of that pie. This doesn't play there that much. There's a little bit of a honey sweetness, but that's as far as it goes. This is truly, to me, like if they made a banana cream pie candy. Not so much out of the bakery, but out of the candy store. We have a Shorty's banana scream pie. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's a little Macho Man Savage for you right there. I'm losing count. Candle number 6. Man, now I'm starting to get the characters mixed up. Okay. We have Fatso. Oh yeah. He's got the mohawk. He's got the box of chocolates. The little bow. But see, he's the guy. You got to be careful with him because I believe he's the guy who like tries to lure children and be like, here's some candy. Or he goes and knocks on people's doors like, here's a pizza. And then he eats them, right? Or I don't know what he does. He sprays them with his little zapper gun. Fatso's Sweet Scrumptious Surprise. Sweet Scrumptious Surprise. That is killer. That is absolutely killer. What is that? I'm serious. Okay, I have to kind of go outside of candy for a minute. There is, I think I just told this story. I used to, when I was 18 years old, my buddy and I, we thought we were cool. We went to a local cigar shop. They had this very small humidor, and we went into the humidor and we're looking at all the cigars, and that smell, of course, of that humidor, it's such a wonderful experience if you haven't smelled it. But more specifically, the only cigar we could afford when we were in high school, 18 years old, was this $4 cigar made by a company called Heaven, and it was a vanilla flavored cigar, and it did taste like vanilla in such a decadent way, but it was almost like Kahlua. It had this coffee liqueur a flavor to it, and of course aroma. I'm talking about before you light it, but after you lit it, it was still outrageously gorgeous. There is something in this candle that has this vanilla, French vanilla, like French vanilla bean mixed with like golden raisins. Just, right out of the honey bear, golden honey. This is a tough one. French vanilla, honey. Raisin, for sure, but there's a little bit more of a fruity brightness. I'm going to go with a black cherry. I could be way off. And just to make sure that I'm communicating as much as I can, this is also tart and it's sweet, but by far this one brings the cream factor. I'm not necessarily talking about dairy cream. I'm just talking about when you smell this, there's some kind of fluffy If this is a dessert or if this is a treat, this is going to have something fluffy about it. Whether it's whipped marshmallow. And it smells like nothing, I know. Oh. You know, I mentioned Kahlua. Check this out. I mentioned Kahlua. And he's holding a box of chocolates, right? So help me out. Like not rum balls, but like don't they have like the Kahlua chocolates? Like you bite into the chocolate and it's got the Kahlua filling, or like other liqueurs. I know they make these. Like, and the cherries. What are they called? I have no idea what they're called. The little chocolates, inside is the ooey gooey confection with like the maraschino cherry or something in there, but it's like a brandy cherry. So there is this, I think that's kind of where I was going with this raisin like thing, and this vanilla coffee creamy liqueur thing. It's definitely starting to come to life. And the more I think about chocolates, like a box of assorted chocolates, I'm thinking about all of the other things. And now it's kind of starting to make sense. So the chocolates that have that raspberry fluff inside, not a big fan of those, but they smell wonderful. So coffee, chocolate, Kahlua, I think all of those are safe descriptors. I think they're at some capacity they're all at play. There is that berry fruit. There is a big perception of creaminess. Again, not necessarily dairy, but something that's fluffy. Oh, and I just want to get one more thing, but I think I can't be too hard on myself because I've said a lot. But you know, the bright cherry is really coming through now. Ooh, I just showered, so I can smell my soap. It's a good way to adjust your nose. Yeah, I mean, I would label that sweet scrumptious, and it's got scrumptious in it, so it kind of, you know, provokes a little bit of the Willy Wonka feeling. You know, I'm not going to say loosely, but a broad concept based on a box of mixed assorted chocolates. No nuts. No, no Forrest Gump. You never know what you're going to get action. This is going to be like the ones that have the ooey gooey filling inside, the liqueurs, maybe the nutty. I could say nutty if I said like the Kahlua or caramel, but not like a roasted nut or legume in any way. This is really good. This is really good. I think so far. What's his name? Fatso? Of course, I would like Fatso. I think he's won my heart. He has. I think this will be the first one I will burn. Just because so much going on. And I'll be honest, without that visual aid of the chocolate box, I don't think I would have been able to get any closer than what I said in the beginning. Something creamy. Oh no. See, I didn't even know this one was a thing. Oh man, okay. All right, are we ready? We got Bibo's, and he's extra creepy. Look at those eyes. What's going on with those eyes? Bibo's freaky fried funnel cake. That is the money right there. That is the money. I don't necessarily think about circus, but I think about carnivals. Yes. whether, it's fried dough, funnel cake, I mean, two completely different things, but, in my hometown growing up, right at the end of the school year, we'd have a big town carnival bazaar, and everybody would get together. All of the teachers, all of the residents, they would come together, help the restaurants actually set up booths and serve all of this homemade goodness. And it truly wasn't. The carnival was just as much about the concessions as it was about the rides. Just the smell, that huge tent where they cooked all the food, the smell that tent would pump out was insane. Sausage and peppers, grilled onions, pizza, calzones. Okay, it was a very big Italian town. But funnel cake and fried dough, or zeppelis, or elephant ears. Some people know them as elephant ears. But funnel cake, just in case we don't know, is piped cake batter right into a deep fryer. You get it going for, I think, 2 minutes, or a minute on each side. 1 minute, flip, 1 minute, take it out. Typical topping is powdered sugar, but these days you can put just about anything on it. You can put, fruit syrups, chocolate syrups, caramel, fresh fruit. I've seen it all. Whipped cream, ice cream, anything goes on a funnel cake. And because it's got that crispy, crunchy, exterior, nothing can penetrate the funnel cake. So even like ice cream can sit comfortably on top of the funnel cake without getting soggy. Bibo's freaky fried funnel cakes. I've never smelled a funnel cake candle before. Have you? I haven't. Oh man. Okay, so there's a couple things happening here. There is, so fried cake batter. Usually the first association we have with that is donuts, Dunkin' Donuts, for example. There's that smell. When we enter Dunkin' Donuts, there's the smell of the bag. When we leave Dunkin' Donuts, there's the smell on our clothes. After we spent some time in Dunkin' Donuts, that smelled of fried, of cake batter. But cake, not bread, so no yeastiness here. This is not like fresh baked bread. This is not like a fried calzone or a fried dough. And big cinnamon sugar. So this funnel cake does have a topping. Does it have a topping? It does have a topping on the label. It looks like there's some kind of like Cinnabon frosting. And I think that's a good direction to take this. So a very sweet cream frosting that has okay, so it has, so let's say that frosting has some cinnamon sugar in it. Basic cinnamon sugar. The cinnamon rides a little bit on that spicy side. Gives you a nice kick of spice. However, hold on. Yeah, okay. I want to make sure that my convictions are strong enough to go there. Maple syrup. So imagine this frosting. We got the cinnamon, we got the sugar. There's already sugar in the frosting. So we got the cinnamon, a little bit of maple syrup in there, and yeah, I'm gonna do it. Crushed walnuts. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, full conviction. Full conviction. There is, I mean, I guess we can think of a cinnamon roll like TJ Cinnamon's that had the walnuts or pecans or whatever they were inside of the cinnamon roll. So that kind of makes sense. Like the cinnamon, the frosting, the nuts, and the fried cake batter. If you substituted like a baked cinnamon bun that was yeasty, it would sound like I'm describing a cinnamon bun. So this is kind of like a cinnamon bun that has the substitute of the roll for the funnel cake. And I think that's pretty good. And this might be an association, and I think it is. With, whenever you smell the cinnamon sugar, it's, your mind wants to drag you to baked apple. But even if it's not in here, it's still worth saying because it's the power of aromatics and how aroma can connect the dots sometimes. This does seem to have that apple quality. But either way, the caramel, the frosting, the nuts, the maple syrup, I said the cinnamon, the baking spice, and the fried cake batter, this, to me, really does register as a very successful autumn candle. You could burn this for Halloween, but this would work all autumn long. And of course, you could burn this any time of the year you want, but this is, by and large, the most autumnal, out in the cold, on a October evening. You're at a haunted hayride or a haunted attraction. You're walking through the streets of Salem, and you walk by a food truck, and you just immediately feel warm from the vapor, and you smell the sweet goodness coming from the truck. They're probably cooking up some of Bibo's freaky fried funnel cakes. That will warm your bones. That will take you outside on a cold October evening. That is for sure. And pair this with a mug of ice cold apple cider or a piping hot mulled apple cider for a nice autumnal pairing. It's a nice one. There's not one that I haven't thoroughly enjoyed so far. How you guys doing? We doing all right? Nutella on funnel cake, says Leslie. Oh, man. Oh, and Ray's here. That's the one I was most interested in. Yes, Ray, you left some comment somewhere today that I saw. And you're like, oh, I was interested in the funnel cake one. And I'm like, I didn't even know there was a funnel cake one. Because as soon as they sold out, they just removed them from the website. I will get back to that. I will address that in a little bit. If you guys could, at this point, would be a great time to show a little bit of love. Hit that thumbs up button if you're joining in on this glorious Mother's Day. Hope all of you moms out there are having... Oh, wait a minute. I hope all your mothers are having a wonderful day. I'm sorry, I'm so distracted by these labels. Oh, man. Okay, I'm just trying to remember these characters. So we have... Look at this guy. This was the clown in the police station, among other scenes, I'm sure. Jumbo. He's a big guy. Big guy, Jumbo. And you can see he's holding a blue snow cone. And look at his fingernails. To me, that was always the creepiest thing about these clowns. They had these big, like corn dog white fingers with these tiny little red fingernails. But he's holding the blue snow cone, and he's got his deadly flower that squirts out toxic clown juices, And he's spraying it right there on that snow cone. And go figure, this is called Bursting Blue Bonanza. Bursting Blue Bonanza. Whew. Let's do it. We've kind of already talked a little bit about snow cone and slush puppies. Let's see how this can be different. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna know what to tell you folks, because I could sit here all day and throw a bunch of descriptors at you, but this smells exactly. One more time. Exactly like, I don't know where you had them growing up. We had them at the deli / gas station. We'd go in after school and we'd make our own slush puppies. You had the ice, the cup, and the little pumps of all the different flavored syrups. And, most people would just do a little bit of their own mixology, pump a little bit of every syrup in there. But this one really is that blue slush puppy. Not blue icy. Please don't get those two confused. Not the polar bears. The little puppy with the beanie. It's a big, big difference. Big difference. I think the biggest difference is that the slush puppy has more of that sour candy taste. Oh, and Jolly Rancher blue raspberry. I'm just trying to think of other blue raspberry aromas, but this one really is like you smell it with your eyes closed and my mind just goes blue. This is the smell of blue. But what does make up blue raspberry? I guess I can talk about that. Blackberry and raspberry, go figure, is typically the ingredient of making the blue raspberry aroma. But a little bit of a bubblegum thing too. Like if they had a blue raspberry flavored, not Bubblicious, but like say Bazooka Joe, like so it still had a little bit of that pink bubblegum flavor. Oh, and there's something this reminds me of so much. And it's definitely out of the candy store. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to get it. But I don't think it's necessarily that important. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, come on. You know what? It's kind of... Okay. We're going back some time here, but I think you guys can follow me. I think where I'm going here, if we went back 20 years, 20 plus years, remember, at least this is when I remember them, Sobe beverages, the big fruit drinks that came in the glass bottles. Remember them, right? Sobe had the little gecko on it. Okay, but let's go back a few more years. Let's go back more of like 95, 94. Do we remember Mystic? Come on, somebody. It had the kind of this shaped bottle with the screw cap on top. And they all just had these I mean, they all had like fruit flavors, if I remember, like mixed berry or like peach black tea or something like that. They all had these names, but some of them were just these kind of made up names like glacier berry or berry explosion, blue blast. Some of them, if I'm not mistaken, had some of those names. And I guess I'm not just pinpointing Mystic specifically, but I'm pointing out those juices that were so high in sugar that were sold to, not necessarily, they weren't marketed towards children, they were marketed towards adults, Sobe and Mystic. But if we wanted to go into the world of, I cannot remember these names, the foil bags of juice, the foil bags, Capri Suns, there we go, Capri Sun, this artificial fruit, but delectable fruit, black raspberry, or blue raspberry for sure, for days. And take that slush puppy and take a scoop of vanilla ice cream and make a blue raspberry ice cream float, because it does have a little bit of this creamy ice cream, vanilla, soft serve even aroma to it. It actually is making me a little bit cold, which I guess is a good thing. It's doing its job. Jumbo's Bursting Blue Bonanza. Well, folks, that's never an easy thing for me to do. We just went through 8 candles. And there's actually a 9th candle that's a limited edition that's a part of this collection. But here's the deal. If we want to get our hands on these candles, I'm going to be doing a giveaway in collaboration with Eerie Candle Company. We're going to figure out a good way to, I'm not going to sit here and burn all these candles. I want to burn 1 or 2, film my evaluations, but I want to make sure that I'm giving these away and doing my part to really support, small business, this small batch candle company. I love their aesthetic designs, and I love their concepts. And now that I've smelled the candles, these are solid fragrances, solid scents. So they are going to be keeping me posted when they have all of their materials in to produce the next round of candles. So this is what I'll promise to do. They'll reach out to me and give me a heads up, like, hey, we're gonna have them in stock soon. And at this point, when they tell me, I will inform everybody on the Candle Enthusiast Facebook group. So this is yet another reason, if you're not a member of the Facebook group, to swing over, because these are the kind of updates and announcements that collectively we all share. So I'm sure we all have the Facebook account. Don't lie. Just type in the search bar Candle Enthusiast Facebook group. You'll request to join. We'll ask you a few questions. As long as you can keep it family friendly and be kind and polite and courteous to other folks, we'd be happy to have you. But it's still, in my opinion, the most positive and safe and funny a place to hang out and share your passion for aroma, nostalgia, and all of the other many interests that the candle enthusiast community seem to share. So make sure you swing over and do that. And while we're at it, I just want to pull up Eerie Candle Company's Instagram page, because we want to make sure that we're supporting, whether we're purchasing or not, we definitely need to support. All right. A lot of effort put into these candles, and just these labels alone deserve a round of applause, in my opinion. So make sure you go over there, because they do also keep you informed of when these candles will be in stock. I'm trying to zoom in here. There is the limited edition candle. VoVo's. It's extra large, and it's called Explosive Juicy Jamboree. And that one literally did sell out probably quicker than 30 minutes the last time around. But they will inform you too when they see, like right here, restocked. So this will help you out. But I'll hopefully have a couple extra days notice before they even post this up. So I'll have a time and a date for you to be there to order. These are pretty affordable candles for a small batch candle company. We're talking like $15 and change. And I don't know if you buy the collection together, if they are discounted. But as you can see, I mean, this whole Instagram page is just loaded with these notifications of being sold out, in stock, available now, sold out, in stock, available now. So it tells you how fast they move. And with the Halloween season approaching us, I know it sounds crazy, but it is true. Halloween season is approaching. Anytime after the 4th of July is a hard time to purchase Halloween candles. It's a great time to get a jump start before everyone starts purchasing. And if you're into the Universal Studios horror monsters, we have candles inspired by all of these ghoulish monsters. My favorites, we have the creature from the Black Lagoon, the Mummy, Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman. And $15.50 for these candles. Insane. And then look at these. These have, I don't know what these are. They're like little decals. They're like air car fresheners. I don't know if they actually have aroma, but you can take the label off of the candle when you're done, and you can like hang that on your rear view mirror. Really cool idea. Again, the aesthetics alone of this company, even just this banner, sold me. And when I saw the Killer Klowns collection, I contacted them immediately, and I said, "Oh man, just please send them my way. I would love to evaluate them and share, spread the word as much as I could." And I'm so glad I did so. So keep an eye out. I will be informing you when they are restocked. End of the month, beginning of June. I'll let you know. But join the Candle Enthusiast Facebook group to keep up with these notifications. But also in the meantime, they have plenty of stuff on their website that also looks incredibly intriguing. So take a look-see, and definitely follow them on Instagram as well. And hey, a big shout out to these folks, Eerie Candle Company, because it's people like this that's making the candle enthusiast possible. I've been dealing with some of the nicest folks for really from the beginning, but just recently I've been overwhelmed with such kindness of people just sending product my way. They're not charging me. They're saying, here, enjoy them, do your thing, make your videos, spread the love, and here's some candles. And this is crucial because, as we know, buying candles, it's an expensive thing, especially with this YouTube ordeal. I don't know if some people assume that YouTubers make tons of money. You don't, unless you have 500,000 plus subscribers. You're really not making money. So it really does mean a lot to me, these candle companies showing their generosity and their kindness. And when it comes to the Candle Enthusiast main channel, this year, I've said it before, I'll say it again, this year we have the full potential to have not only the greatest season the Candle Enthusiast has ever had, but to to really get, for me to get on track of what I've always wanted to do with the channel in the first place. But it's unfortunately gonna have to be a collective effort, and it pains me during times like this to ask for pledges and donations, or ask you guys to buy a t-shirt or a piece of merchandise. But if you are in the position to help fund these videos, not pay a salary, trust me, there's no way a salary is coming out of pledges from our little modest YouTube channel. But if we want to propel the Candle Enthusiast, the main channel, to get these videos done, these videos that I've wanted to make from the very beginning, you know, in my opinion, really in-depth, vicarious experiences out on the road, visiting places that will warm our hearts, but also shed some light on how to live enthusiastically, how to take everyday little places that we wouldn't even think of imagining going, or things that from childhood that we wouldn't even cross our mind on a day-to-day basis. Revisiting those special things from our childhood, discovering new things, and hopefully instilling joy and happiness among all of us, all of the viewers, and myself. So let's see if we can make this season the best so far. Let's get back on the road. My camera bag is packed and ready to go. And I'm unfortunately in a position where I am asking for help if you are in a position where you can pledge. And trust me, $1, $2, that is all I'm asking. $1, $2, or buy a t-shirt. That alone would make a difference. If everyone gave $1, all my subscribers gave $1, we would have more than enough to do everything I had planned to do this year, and then some, a surplus for 2021. So a little bit of self-promotion. And with that said, thank you so much for the super chat. Alex with the 650 pound super chat. I'm not sure how to say that. 6.5 pound super chat. I really appreciate the support, Alex. It means a lot. And like I said, the smallest of donations mean a lot, not just emotionally, but if everyone gave that $1, $2, we'd be moving big stones, breaking down barriers, and pushing the Candle Enthusiast forward. So with that said, thank you so much for joining. Plus, all of those ways you want to help support the channel, if you can, are in the description. I'm so bad at pushing this stuff. I'm sorry. I apologize in advance, but all of that information is going to be in the description below. Leslie Pethy-Bridge with a $20 super chat. This is 2 weeks in a row. Leslie, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I can't wait to see what you have in store for us once we can all get out and about. Hugs, yes. Once we can get out and move around, hopefully we'll all go back to some kind of normalcy, including me getting that camera back in my hand and editing some great videos. Thank you so much, Leslie and Alex. Truly appreciate the support. And I just want to show you guys one more thing before I say goodbye. The Wall of Flame. The Wall of Flame. So you'll see Leslie's name right there on the Wall of Flame. This is a title card that gets put at the end of all of my edited videos on the main channel. I'm going to start showing it on these lives too. But if you want to get your name, your business, your social media handle on this page, go to patreon.com/thecandleenthusiast. Again, the link is in the description below. Maybe this could be a slight added promotion for you, or maybe a fun shout out for yourself or somebody in your family, but at the same time, you'll be supporting the Candle Enthusiast and future videos. So once again, thanks again for joining, and a big shout out to Eerie Candle Company. website and their handles in the description below. Everyone have a fantastic Mother's Day. I'm sorry we didn't get to chit chat as much today, but we're smelling a lot of candles. I will be talking to you soon, but until then, be good and have a fantastic Sunday, right? I mean, that's all we can really ever hope for, is just having a great Sunday at home, relaxing, chilling. All right, guys. Be good. Take care of yourselves.